Hey, this is Scott, and finally I get to discuss a wine that I think I've been the most excited about for the year 2019. I don't have the time to do a year-end review of all the wines that I've had. I just don't have that time. But I went back through my notes because I wanted to make sure I checked my list, checked it twice, made sure no other wines were either naughty or nice. And today we are going to discuss what I think is quite possibly the best Washington State wine released for 2019. However, you're going to have to wait till the very end to see what it is. Stay tuned. Hey, this is Scott, and you've tuned in to the Rookie Wine and Whiskey Enthusiast channel, YouTube's primary channel to discuss Washington State wines and spirits, but not exclusively. But today, we really are going to focus in on what I consider is Washington State's best release for 2019. Now, let's go ahead and do the whole YouTube thing. If you like this channel, if you like this content, please go ahead and hit the thumbs up button. Also hit the subscribe button. And after you hit the subscribe button, there's a little bell icon that'll pop up. Okay? Hit that, and then when I do these types of videos, you be notified when I do that, and you can go ahead and view at your pleasure. So that being said, I'm going to give some hints as I review this wine as to its maker. All right? Obviously, it's a Washington State. First hint is that it is a 2012 Syrah. Now, as a lot of you like to know, and I've mentioned this before, I do believe Washington State produces some of the best Syrahs in the world. I really do think that Syrah can be the one grape that Washington State could be known for, because there's with the different appellations, you have so many different flavors that are imparted into the Syrah grape. Now, this particular Syrah, it is a 2012. But as I was talking to the winemaker at the tasting room back in November, they bottled it after 22 months. Now, it was bottled for 22 months, 66% new American oak, 34% new French oak. This particular Syrah is 100% estate grown in the Red Mountain AVA, which right now is the smallest AVA, but it won't be shortly. There's another new AVA coming along. But Red Mountain here in the state of Washington, now I'm a big Walla Walla AVA fan and the Rocks AVA fan, but Red Mountain has some of the best grapes growing and growing grounds for grapes in the entire state of Washington. Some of the most expensive wines come from this particular AVA, as this one does here. So anyways, again, the Syrah is a blend of 3 different Syrah clones. One of the clones is a Australian clone, where they call it Syrahs. And then the other 2 clones are French clones. So let's go ahead and jump right into the nose. This wine does sit at 14.5% alcohol by volume. And I did pay, and this is the only bottle I have, I did pay $50 for this particular bottle. But as you're going to find out, this wine is worth every penny of the $50. Let's take a look at the color here first. The color on this thing is a deep, deep purple. There is almost no light coming through this at all. The nose. Now, I've had this bottle open for about, I'd say about 20 minutes. I didn't decant it, didn't want to decant it, but I poured some of it, put it in my glass, just to kind of give it a little bit chance to open up. Right off the bat, I am getting a rich stone fruit, and I'm talking dark plums, dark cherries. There's a little bit of chocolate. Almost think of chocolate-covered cherries on the nose with this. There's some accented black currant on the nose. There is a beautiful tobacco note that sits there and just lingers. It's also got a lot of dried herbs to it. There is a clove note. And it just, the nose on this just blends together so beautifully. I don't know if you guys can see that, but the legs on this wine at 14.5%. I mean, this has just, you don't normally see legs on a glass of wine like this. Let's go ahead and give it a taste. This is, let's be honest, this right here is what you really look for. The dark plum and dark cherry, chocolate covered cherry notes takes a backseat. The black currant comes out in force on the palate. And that chocolate note is right there with it. There's also, the spice notes. That clove is there, but it transfers more towards a pepper style of feel, like a peppercorn, white peppercorn, or fresh peppercorn. The tobacco note is there, and the tobacco note kind of helps. I don't know. The best thing is it coats the entire tongue. The tobacco note helps kind of hold everything together, I think. And that's why it's coming across to me. But also at the very finish, I get notes of a rich, old, well taken care of leather. That chocolate note that you get on the front lingers. The chocolate covered cherries lingers all the way through. This is a very savory Syrah. This is one of the, I know it sounds odd, but one of the criteria for me when it comes to a wine, and only a couple wines this year really did this, the hair on my arm literally stands on it. I get excited. I mean, when it coats the palate like this does, this is such a beautiful, beautiful Syrah. Let's go while I'm starting to untie the bag here. That way you guys can see what it is. The body on this is a very bold Syrah. I like my Syrahs bold. I like them to where they go ahead and stand out. The tannins on this is a medium to medium plus tannic wine. The acidity, medium plus. The acid is right there. I mean, I believe the winemaker did the right thing by bottle aging this for as many years as he did. I can only imagine how this literally jumped out the glass the moment it came out of the oak and they bottled it. I think it might have just been possibly just too expressive. The alcohol is noticeable, but it's not overwhelming. At 14.5% alcohol by volume, that's really good. Sweetness, this is a very off-dry. Okay, this is not a very sweet Syrah. And you don't expect a Syrah to be sweet. What am I going to give this spectacular wine? My highest rating of the year. Easily, bar none. And that is a 98 out of 100. All right, you guys ready? This is the Reserve Syrah from Côtes de Sel, from the Sale de Cheval Vineyard out of Red Mountain, 2012. I will, in a day or two, post the link down below in the descriptions. You guys can go ahead and, I don't know if you guys can see this, but the sediment on the side of the bottle, I mean, that's how long. This is just a beautiful, beautiful wine. I can't recommend it highly enough. You know, I know Andy Pardue from the Seattle Times, he listed the 2016 GSM from Palencia Vineyard as his number one wine, Washington State wine. I'm not going to argue with him because, as you know, I'm a fan of Palencia's, and I did a review of the 2013 out of my cellar just about a month or two ago, and it's a great wine. And I know that Wine Enthusiast has their best of Washington. You know, I've tasted this year probably 300-400 different wines, and not all of them were good, not all of them were bad, but I just don't have the time to taste the thousands upon thousands of wines that some of these professionals do. I mean, that's why this channel is named The Rookie. I am literally a rookie, and this is a hobby for me, and I enjoy this hobby very much. So, but anyways, listen, if you've had this particular wine, the Côtes de Ciel 2012 Reserve Syrah, please go ahead and put it down in the comments down below. Let me know what you think about it. Is there a Syrah or any other wine that maybe you think I missed from Washington State that I should be replacing this with? It'd be hard-pressed for me to change my mind, especially this late in the game. So, that being said, folks, I've got one more wine review to do for New Year's. I'm going to be doing a sparkling wine, Washington State. And I do have one more spirits review to do, again, for Washington State here. So, and it's going to be my Christmas whiskey. But that being said, please let me know what you guys think down below. Just a couple more days till Christmas. I do recommend, like I said, I'm not affiliated with this winery. So I just have to say that in case YouTube decides to get all persnickety on it. But this is a wine, it is worth every single cent of the $50. As always, please drink responsibly, especially during this holiday season. Life is too short for either bad wine or bad whiskey. And at 98 out of 100, this is Washington State's best wine for 2019, in my opinion. Cheers. Beautiful.